Hi, so today I am going to show you how to lengthen a maxi dress. So I've got this maxi dress and I quite like it. I've had it for a couple of years now, but I would prefer it if it was just that little bit longer. We're going to do this by adding a section through the middle. You could do it in a contrasting colour if you prefer. I'm going to do it in the same colour, so I hope you enjoy this video. Okay, so I've got the dress that I'm going to be working on. Also got an old t-shirt, just a little tank top that's the same shade of black there. So the reason I'm using an old t-shirt, I just figure it's going to be cheaper and easier to match, and a t-shirt's got the same give in it, so you want something that's going to be equally stretchy to the fabric you are working with. So if your maxi dress isn't as stretchy, then you want to find something that's going to be of a similar fabric. Because we're just going to be using sort of a strip of it, it wasn't worth going out and buying a whole section of fabric. First thing I'm going to do is measure from my waist where I want to have the new waistband. I'm going to measure that down to the floor. So I'm going to have the new waistband sort of around here. So I'm just going to measure from the bottom of that section straight down to the floor. It's worth noting that if you're going to be wearing heels, if you're lengthening the dress so that you can wear it with heels instead of flats, you need to have those shoes on when you're making the measurement. So the next thing I'm going to do is just measure from the hem of the skirt to where I want to extend it. So I'm measuring out that distance that I've just taken. So I'm just going to mark that with a pin and just repeat that all the way along so that I've got a nice straight line measuring from the hem up each time. So before I cut anything, I've just taken my other t-shirt and I'm just laying it on top to make sure it's a similar size to where we're going to be cutting. Just line up the hems here. So that's all going to work out. You can see the colours are very similar and they're the same size. So I'm going to cut a bit more than I perhaps need. So I'm going to start, so I don't think the dress needs that much adding to it in length. So I'm going to start with maybe about 6 inches. So I'm going to cut a 6-inch band out of this t-shirt as well. And then before I sew it, I'll pin it up and just make sure that it is the desired length. So just overcut here, and you can always reduce that at a later stage. If you only want to increase your dress by a couple of inches, then obviously you don't need to cut quite so much fabric here. And if you're looking to extend it by more, then obviously you're adding a bit more in this section as well. So just go ahead and mark that up so that you've got your t-shirt that's clearly marked with your pins, and you've got your dress that's marked with the pins across as well. I'm just going to cut this where I've marked all the way straight across, trying to keep a nice straight line. I'm going to move the top section away for a moment. So, and then I've got the new skirt section here. And again with the top section, I'm not going to sit and unpick this whole seam, so I'm just going to cut that off just as close as I can all the way around. Because this is the same size as the one I'm going to be working with, I can just leave the side seams as they are. I'm going to keep those so we're not doing additional seams down the side. If you are just working with fabric or a fabric that's a different size, then you will need to just add some seams in. I'm just going to get rid of this piece. Lay it back out flat again, and again just cut along here. Just fold that over, make sure it's equal, and we'll pop that with the other pieces. The rest of this top, the t-shirt we're not using, keep for later, maybe turn into a crop top or a sports top, or just use it for fabric for another project. So I'm just going to pop the dress back on in the 3 separate pieces. I'll pop it on inside out so all the seams are facing outwards, and I can just start to pin to make sure I'm getting it the length that I want it. Again, if you are doing this to wear with heels, you need to be wearing your heels while you're fitting this to yourself. So as you can see, it's now nice and long. Got a little bit of draping just on the floor there, so when I put my shoes back on, that's going to pick back up a little bit. So I've got the bottom section, the middle section, and the top. So I'm just going to spend a bit of time pinning that all together. So now it's the right size. I've actually taken the top section off, and I'm just working with the middle section and the bottom section, and I'm just going around and pinning that. We're going to jump on the sewing machine and sew the bottom and the middle sections first, and then we'll just repeat the process with the middle and the top section, so it's all one garment again. Remember, if your maxi dress is stretchy like mine, if you're working with a jersey fabric, when you're on the sewing machine you're going to need to have a zigzag stitch so that it's still got some stretch. If you just use a normal straight stitch, you're going to make this middle section very stiff, and you've got a potential of it ripping, which you don't want when you're out and about wearing a nice new dress. So you should have a nice zigzag, and then that just allows it to stretch with the fabric. So I've just repeated the process of pinning the pieces together. So this is the top piece and the middle piece, and I'm just going to sew that around again. So thank you for watching. If you've liked this video, give it a like, and feel free to subscribe for more videos coming soon.